So rotations are going to be a little bit more challenging to physically see. So just point out there, some people can just kind of do it and it makes sense to them. They've got really great spatial awareness. If you're that person, that is great. If you're not that person, I've tried to kind of write up some rules that you can help memorize. Like I said, everybody learns differently, and this is one of the topics that you really see that differing learning style. So to get started, a rotation is just a turn. So imagine you have your pencil in your hand and you're just going to turn it upside down. So then the eraser is facing up. That's what we're going to do here. We're going to take a object and we are going to turn it. Or you can take your piece of paper in your hand, if you have it like horizontal, and you can turn it vertical. That's what we're going to be doing here. Technically, we can turn, there are lots of different ways we can turn. We're going to keep it pretty simplified here. Everything's going to be about the origin. We're not going to be turning about any other point on the graph. And we're only going to turn kind of really standard terms. So 90 degrees, and 90 degrees is a quarter turn. So again, think about your piece of paper. If you have a piece of paper and you turn it upwise, that's 90 degrees. Or if you think about, I'll draw a picture here, our coordinate plane, say we're right here, going down here is 90 degrees. And then if we turn again, here would be 180 degrees. And then if we turn again, that would be 270 degrees. And then all the way around is 360. Now, this was going clockwise. I can go counterclockwise and I would get the opposite. So counterclockwise would be going to the left. I would have 90. 180 is the same. And then 270. And then 360. So that's why I have these kind of listed out, the counterclockwise and clockwise, because you have to pay attention and see which way you're turning. Basically, are you turning right or left? Clockwise is going to the right. Think about a clock starts with 1 over here. Counterclockwise would be counting backwards on the clock. So 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, that sort of thing. 180 is special. So 180 is also called a half turn. So I'm going to actually look at that one first. So let's look up down here. 180 is going to take something that was up top here. So let's say, let me get a different color. Say we're right here, and we're going to turn it and make it right down there. So it's going to change things from being positive to negative, or if it was already negative, it's going to change them to being positive. So it changes their sign. Again, I'm just looking at this 180. I'll come back and do the other one. So 180. So let's go down here to this second example. A half turn means 180 degrees. Just by definition. So 180 degrees here. So this is going to change the X and the Y, just the signs, the negative and positive. So instead of being positive 2, it's going to be negative 2. Instead of being negative 3, it's going to be positive 3. Now when we get to reflections in one of our later sections, we're going to see this is the same thing as reflected about the origin. So I'm just going to type these up here. So this right here means you need to change the signs, and it also is the same as a reflection about the origin. And that's going to be for one of our later sections. Let me get rid of all these numbers here now, so you can see what I have typed there. All right. Now let's look at our kind of more complicated ones. So 90 and 270, again, it matters which way you're going, clockwise or counterclockwise. So let's do this one down here. So 90 clockwise would be right here. So we're going to take our object and it's going to put it here. So instead of being on the y-axis, now it's going to be on the x-axis. So that's why I have this. You're going to switch your x and y values. So you have to switch your x and y values, and you're going to take what was the x one and change it to negative. Let's move that so we can see it. So that's this bottom one over here. We're going to switch the x and y values because instead of being up here at the top, we're going to be down there. Then we also have to change the sign of the x value. Now it's going to be the opposite. If we're going to go this counterclockwise all the way over here to 270, we're going to switch the x and y values again. So we're still switching, but now we're going to change the sign of the y value. Oh, that's not what I wanted to move. I want to move this one. So we wanted to switch the x and y value, but now we're going to change the sign of the y. So you switch in both of them, just knowing the difference of the x and the y to change.